So I've been trying to record this craft room tour video quite a few times now. There's just so much to go over, and there's a lot of organization tips and techniques I'd love to share with you. What I'm going to do is kind of do like an overview of what is in my craft room. When you walk into my craft room, this is basically how it looks. So I have all of that there, going around here, and then the doors out there. Alright, so here, when you first walk in, I just have this stand here, and this has various different things from smash books to cards and so forth. I use this bookcase here for all of my jewelry making stuff. So towards the top here I have like clay and resin stuff, charms, and then down here I have all my beads and all my jewelry tools and like little things like toggles and findings and so forth. And down at the very bottom I have a bunch of packaging for sending out my cards that have been purchased on Etsy. So then moving over to here, I just have a little bit of decoration. I don't have quite a lot of decoration in my craft room, just because I really haven't invested much into that part of it. I've spent more money just trying to organize it. But I did buy this tree when it was on clearance at Michael's for 70% off, and it's pink, so it's cute. And this is just a rolling drawer thing that has a bunch of supplies from when I was teaching, and they're like office supplies, so like pencils, pens, index cards, and so forth. This is my office desk, and I've really transformed it more into holding all my craft stuff. So below the desk, everything there is all either office supplies, stuff for paying bills, files, and so forth. And then in those containers I have packaging stuff, and then I have some boxes and gift bags for wrapping gifts. But up here I've got a bunch of electronics that I use. So over here is kind of like my shipping area, so I have stuff to help me out with shipping. And down here I have a laminator, photo printer, and my Xyron sticker maker. Up here I have a bunch of books and magazines for all my crafting. And then I have a laser printer here because I just don't print a lot of color stuff, so I just got a laser printer that prints black and white to save ink. And this is just giveaway stuff. This is my cash box and some stuff for my business. That's from being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, those things up there. I have stickers in here because I don't really use them that often. And down here I have a bunch of greeting cards that I accumulated before I actually started making my own cards. So I have quite a few, but they're good for last minute types of cards. And this is my die cutting station. So I have my Cricut Explorer, I have my Cuttlebug, and then I also have the Mini Mink, my rotary cutter, all my Cricut accessories and booklets, a bunch of die cuts, and a bunch of stuff for my mink foiling stuff. And then over here is where my craft desk is. So on the way I have a little bit more of die cutting things. So here's the Big Shot that I'm now using as opposed to my Cuttlebug, and I do like it a lot more, and that's because I have the space for it now. I didn't have the space for it before, but now that I do, it works out great. And then I have my dies and embossing folders in those little buckets, and down here is cleaning supplies, so like baby wipes, paper towels, and so forth. This is like my embellishment tower. So I have glitter glue at the top, some cardboard shapes, miscellaneous stuff, buttons, flowers. I have things sorted by theme, like spring, summer, fall, winter. So those are just miscellaneous embellishments. For my desk, I have a bunch of organizers stacked up. You can see I don't have any shelving, so I kind of utilize what I can by stacking containers and putting what I use the most in them. So in here are various embellishments, mostly ribbon, and there's some twine and rhinestones there. Everything for stamping is here. This is one of those spinny things you get from Michaels, so it has mostly pins and stuff in here, but I have my tweezers here, which is what I mostly use from there. I have my markers for coloring stamp images. I have Zig markers and a few alcohol markers. All my beading tools, I have them out because I found that I can use them in other types of crafting other than just beading. This is my stash of glitter, which is sorted by color. And over here I have my OttLite. I just have a few various things in here that I need at hand. This has kind of like finishing touches, so like my Wink of Stella pens, gel pens, and then I've got my bone folder, scissors. Tools I use quite often is in that. And this is my sequin stash, so I have my sequins sorted not only by color but also by theme. This is my paper pumpkin kit from December. This is just a mini trash thing I keep on hand. And have some foam tape. And then I have more drawers here, so I have adhesive, specialty paper, like watercolor paper, vellum. I have my fuse tool and shaker supplies down at the bottom. I have fun foam, stencils, and watercoloring materials. And then I have two stamp towers here. The first one is my Close to My Heart stamp tower, and this has some Stampin' Up! Markers, distress markers, blending markers. And then I have at the top, there are a few Simon Says stamp pads. All of my lollipops and stuff from my Simon Says stamp kits are in there. And then I have a little reference tool here. And then this is my Stampin' Up! Ink organizer. So I have everything sorted by color. And then I have all the re-inkers up here. And they go with the tower that they are above. So I've showed you my craft desk, and below my craft desk is a bunch of storage, and then right underneath where I sit is all of my stamps. This is where I do my videos, so you might recognize this background. I've changed it up a bit, but for right now that's what I'm using. And I just put my camera up on here, and I have a light here that I use for lighting. This is what I use to do my voiceovers, and then I use this light for when I bring my photo box over here to take pictures of cards that I've finished. I have another one of these rolling carts. And this one just has old school craft supplies like construction paper, fabric, felt, foam, things I don't really use often, pipe cleaners, so forth. And up here I have a bunch of little containers that hold projects that I need to complete. So there are things from making a cookbook to scrapbooking, some mementos that just need to be sorted and put away. I just recently put these up. I usually use them in my craft fairs, and so I might take them down when I need them, but I have my Sew Crafts by Pam sign display, and then I have two of these little chicken wire frames that I keep cards that were made and sent to me. And this pretty much holds all of my paper. At the top I have some different embellishments. I have alpha stickers, there's CDs of all my photos, extra stamps from Close to My Heart, some clearance stuff I got from Michaels. This is all the stuff for my wedding album that I need to sort through, and most of these are pictures that are extra or need to go in there. And then I have some die cuts and Project Life cards up there, and that's just some packaging I've kept for shipping supplies and stuff. This is one of those bookshelf things from IKEA, so I have two of them side by side. They were in my living room, but I kind of got them knowing that eventually they would make it to my craft room. And so I've got like these are for scrap paper, so they're sorted by color. I have 2 boxes of 6x6 paper, which is what I use most often. I have a bunch of 8.5 by 11 cardstock there, and then I have 12 by 12 and more 12 by 12 pattern paper. So most of these are in paper packs. And then I have 8.5 by 11 pattern paper, as well as 4 by 6, 8 by 8. There's a few other sizes as well. Down in here, I have all of my card kits that have remnants left over. So this is stuff from like Simon Says Stamps, Studio Calico, and this is anything that's a card kit or 8.5 by 11 or smaller. And then in this one, besides this little box here, this has just like a few supplies for making simple cards, but all of these are 12 by 12 kits. So they're either for scrapbooking or they are a collection where they have like stickers, paper, and all that, and that's all together. And then over here I have all my Close to My Heart papers sorted in these little envelopes that they sell. So I have 2 of those. And then down here is all my Close to My Heart kits. Yeah, and pattern papers. Oh, here, this is all solid cardstock, and this is all pattern paper or kits. And then here, I have my Stampin' Up! Papers, and I get these in 8.5 by 11. And then I have their 12 by 12 pattern papers. I'm not sure why that's not focused. There we go. Okay. So I just have these in those same Close to My Heart envelopes, and I just have them labeled on the outside so I know what they are. And then down here I have a bunch of paper pumpkin kits that I invested in to help me with my Stampin' Up! Business, but I'm not really quite sure if I would follow through with all of that. So if not, they are kits that I would like to do. These were just adhesives that I'd collected for that as well. And then some sample complete kits, sample stamps from not Close to My Heart, Stampin' Up!, extra blocks and so forth. Anything that if I wanted to continuously demonstrate or things that I might use. And then up here is where I sort all of my finished cards. So I have these boxes from Michaels, and I got this idea from somewhere else. If I can find the video, I'll link it below. But basically this is just to help me sort the cards I need to send out for like anniversaries and birthdays throughout the year. And then all of my holiday cards are there with dividers. Why is this not focusing? I don't know. There we go. Okay. And then I have my holiday card packs here where it's multiple cards of the same card in a little pack. And then Here's all my everyday life cards and their dividers, as well as special occasion cards. And then these are all sets of cards that go with everyday life and special occasion. I have my crop bag over here, as well as some boxes for packaging stuff. And then I have bags that I've collected from various craft events. This was from the Scrapbook Expo, so this was the medallion I got last time because of all the buttons I collected. Some scrapbook displays I created for Michaels when I was the paper crafting instructor. I have this, what used to be a trash can, but now it holds all of my wrapping paper. And I stocked up on some when it was on clearance at Michaels. I've got all my, I guess, what type of paint is this? Like acrylic paint? I don't know, yeah. Acrylic paints. So I got a bunch of these. Most of them were on clearance when I got them. I have painting tools, sealants, some various stuff, planner supplies, labeling stuff, baggies, ironing, sewing, and extra envelopes. And then behind my door I have punches that I rarely use, but that and decorative scissors. So what I do use mostly is my corner punches, so I have those out. And then my hole punches, they're supposed to be stored up there. I have those out as well because I use them frequently. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the overall tour of my craft room. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.